The passage describes an encounter the author had with a teacher, Mrs. Nobel, who dismissed the author's hopes and dreams of pursuing a career in health and wellness, saying no school is going to let you in. This crushed the author's confidence. They were already struggling in school and had recently been diagnosed with ADHD, reinforcing their insecurities that they were not smart. From that point on, the author's main goal was just to get by in school with the minimum grades required. They graduated with a very low 2.3 GPA and had lost all motivation to pursue their original career interests in health and wellness, as Mrs. Nobel's comments had extinguished that fire. So in summary, a dismissive comment from a trusted teacher severely damaged the author's confidence and sense of their own capabilities, leading them to abandon their dreams and just get by with minimum effort in school. Here are some key points about identifying limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are often unconscious and stem from past negative experiences, comparisons to others, or messages we internalized growing up. Common types include beliefs about not being good enough, past failures defining future potential, or never having enough. These beliefs can manifest as imposter syndrome, perfectionism, or a scarcity mindset. Identifying your specific limiting beliefs is the first step. Look for recurring thoughts of self-doubt, unrealistic standards, or lack that hold you back. Be open and honest. Limiting beliefs thrive in secrecy. Bringing them to light takes away some of their power. Don't get discouraged if you can't name them right away. Pay attention to your inner voice and where you tend to sabotage yourself. Over time, the beliefs will become clearer. The key is awareness. Once you identify a limiting belief, you can start to challenge and replace it with an empowering view of yourself and your potential. This paves the way for positive change. The passage discusses how learning and applying the ACT model can help people overcome limiting beliefs associated with low self-worth, shame, and guilt. The ACT model involves identifying the activating event that triggered the limiting belief, stating the belief, consequences of the belief, disputing the belief rationally, and arriving at a new, healthier belief with positive effects. Studies show this technique is effective for reducing stress, burnout, depression, anxiety, and improving job satisfaction. It's used in sports psychology as well. The author guides the reader through applying the ACT model to identify their own limiting beliefs in areas like career, relationships, finances, health, and replacing them with unlimited beliefs. It takes time and practice to transform beliefs. The reader is advised to write down unlimited beliefs where they'll see them regularly and say them aloud, especially when old limiting beliefs emerge. Linking pleasure to the goals of new beliefs can help motivate adhering to them over avoiding immediate pain. Taking action aligned with new beliefs is also important to cement the transformation. The passage provides an example of Jamie Kern Lima overcoming limiting beliefs to build a successful makeup company, resisting fears that marriage or her skin condition would hold her back. The investor told her that no one would want to buy makeup from someone who looked like her. This statement hit hard but also motivated her to prove him wrong. While part of her wondered if he was right, she had a strong gut feeling that he was wrong. She knew she had to learn to truly believe in herself first before building her brand. Lima was determined to believe she could be the woman, wife, mother and entrepreneur she was meant to be, no matter what others said. IT Cosmetics, Lima's company, became one of the most well-known beauty brands in the U.S. L'Oreal bought it for $1.2 billion in 2016. Lima stayed on as CEO and became the first female CEO in L'Oreal's 108-year history. She stepped down in 2019 after also becoming a best-selling author. Lima says she is just beginning what she has to give and do. Her future is unlimited because of her powerful beliefs that drive her. The key was Lima choosing to not believe the limiting beliefs of others and instead have unlimited beliefs in herself and what she could accomplish. This mindset allowed her to build a hugely successful brand and career. Here is a summary of the key points about developing skills through effort and optimizing talent to help others. Talent alone is not enough. Great leaders recognize the need to maximize their talent through effort and continuous self-improvement. Focus on developing your unique skills and getting better at what you're good at over time through practice and experience. It's a process, not a destination. Taking workshops, learning from others, and creating a growth plan can help you continually excel at your skills over months and years. The greatest rewards come when your skills are optimized to add value to others and help them grow. Consider how your talents can benefit society and help people become their best selves. Some successfully use their skills selfishly for their own image or profit without regard for others. True success is about meaningfully contributing to others through your skills. Developing strong character through becoming your best self is just as important as skill or accomplishments. Focus on growing in wisdom, honesty, courage, and justice. Isaac Meek is given as a role model who optimizes his baking skills while deeply prioritizing his family and contributing to his community through his business. The passage discusses the importance of developing good character, which it defines as traits at the core of one's being like integrity, courage, and wisdom. It argues that character is more important than just accomplishment, or performance, citing research that shows executives are more often fired due to ethical failures than poor performance. It contrasts a becoming mindset of prioritizing character development with an accomplishing mindset focused just on achievements. Developing good character can lead to benefits like stronger relationships, career success, and fulfillment in life. It also discusses building trust through consistently demonstrating good character in both public and private actions. The passage cites Abraham Lincoln as an example of someone who earned respect and success through always acting with integrity, even in small matters. It argues the goal should be becoming a person who serves and helps others, not just achieving objectives. Developing character is presented as a lifelong journey that improves one's ability to influence others positively. In the end, the passage encourages readers to envision their potential and consider how developing their character can help them have the greatest positive impact on helping others reach their potential as well. It suggests one's future vision of themselves can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The passage discusses the importance of being self-aware in order to make good decisions and progress towards your goals. It uses the metaphor of Homer Simpson from The Simpsons refusing to envision his future self and therefore making poor choices. The author describes how becoming more self-aware after visiting an impoverished area in Ethiopia impacted them emotionally. It unlocked deeper compassion and changed their perspective, making them more grateful and intentional about helping others. Self-awareness is defined as being attentive to one's own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When self-aware, one can better understand their feelings and responses in order to regulate emotions productively. It is key to developing emotional intelligence. Being self-aware allows a person to recognize weaknesses and areas for growth, so they can identify where they currently are and take steps to get to where they want to be. The passage encourages taking time for introspection and envisioning one's possibilities rather than just focusing on daily tasks. Developing self-awareness is portrayed as important for achieving potential and living meaningfully. Self-awareness is important for personal growth and development. It involves fully knowing oneself, one's values, passions, goals, personality traits, strengths, and weaknesses. It also means understanding how others perceive you. Developing self-awareness can help answer questions about why we act or feel certain ways in different situations. A lack of self-awareness can turn someone into a conversational narcissist who hijacks conversations to make them about themselves. They fail to listen and are not genuinely interested in others. By contrast, self-aware people are considerate listeners who are interested in learning from others. They don't feel a constant need to talk about themselves. Developing self-awareness through assessments can strengthen relationships and performance at work. It increases emotional intelligence. The Batman Effect study found that encouraging self-distancing and role-playing as a superhero improved children's work effort, showing how self-awareness boosts success. Being self-aware gives a superpower to respond thoughtfully to difficult situations rather than reacting emotionally. However, barriers like pride, busyness, and always seeking entertainment can block self-awareness. Pride in one's knowledge and skills prevents openness to learning more. Maintaining self-awareness requires ongoing reflection and willingness to acknowledge weaknesses. The passage discusses the importance of self-awareness for personal and professional growth. It notes 4 main barriers to increasing self-awareness: lack of beginner's mindset, busyness, character flaws/vices, and prioritizing entertainment over reflection. It introduces the concept of shoshin or beginner's mindset, which is approaching situations and topics with humility and openness instead of assumptions. Busyness prevents taking time for self-reflection, which is crucial for awareness. Character flaws like addictions, vices, etc. act like blinders that restrict true self-knowledge. Our culture's focus on constant entertainment limits energy for learning and growth. It provides 3 tools to overcome these barriers: creating peace and quiet daily, writing down thoughts/reflections, and purposefully exposing oneself to new experiences for perspective. It presents an exercise using the SWOT framework to build self-awareness by identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in one's character and skills. So in summary, it discusses the importance of self-awareness and provides analysis of barriers as well as suggested tools and exercises to increase awareness. Strengths/skills. Studied nutrition and functional medicine, focusing on finding the root cause of disease. Helped his mother implement a holistic health program to treat the root causes of her cancer and other issues. Has expertise in dietary and lifestyle interventions like juicing, supplements, reducing stress, etc. to support healing. Opened his own clinic practicing natural medicine and has helped thousands of patients heal. Is compassionate and motivated to help others avoid suffering from disease. Character strengths. Determined, passionate about supporting health and preventing suffering. Courageous in helping his mother try non-conventional approaches. Faith and optimism that his mother's cancer was not a death sentence. Encouraging and supportive of his mother and making positive lifestyle changes. Inspired by his mother's resilience and willingness to change her approach. Areas for improvement. NA. The passage does not mention any weaknesses or areas for growth. In sum, Mary, the key strengths highlighted are his expertise in natural medicine and holistic health interventions, his determination and passion for helping others heal, and his courage and supportive character which helped his mother implement lifestyle changes that put her cancer into remission. The passage discusses the importance of having a clear sense of purpose in life. True purpose is about making a positive impact and helping others, not just self-gratification. It defines an individual's purpose as using one's unique skills and character to alleviate suffering and help others reach their full potential. A universal purpose is to love others and work to make the world a better place. Purpose is fulfilled when one uses their natural talents to contribute in a way that benefits others and brings personal satisfaction. Everyone can find purpose regardless of their job or fame. People are categorized into 5 levels of purpose engagement, from doing nothing to fully maximizing one's potential to help others. The goal is to strive for the highest level of actively contributing. Not having a clear purpose can lead to unhappiness, low motivation, and health issues like depression. But one can change their mindset and lifestyle to rediscover their why and live with more meaning and focus on service. So in summary, the passage discusses defining one's purpose, the importance of purpose for well-being, and how to elevate one's level of purpose engagement for a more fulfilling life. The passage argues that trying to manufacture feelings of happiness through indulgence actually leads to lower well-being and depression. True life satisfaction comes from living a meaningful life, not an indulgent one. Meaning comes from having a positive impact on others through activities like serving the community, helping friends, or committing to challenging self-improvement goals. These types of meaningful pursuits provide deep fulfillment. The work of psychologist Viktor Frankl is cited, who argued that even suffering can have meaning if it is endured in pursuit of a greater purpose. Having a sense of purpose is essential for maintaining will to live and thrive, especially in difficult times. A meaningful life involves feeling valuable, living according to principles, achieving goals, growth, community connections, contributions that benefit others, and living for something bigger than oneself. True purpose is centered on others, not self. Self-oriented goals do not provide the same deep fulfillment as goals aimed at helping family, community, or causes. Altruism increases well-being by activating reward centers in the brain. In summary, the passage advocates finding meaning and purpose through positively impacting others, enduring hardship for a greater cause, and shifting focus from self to community, not through indulgence or superficial happiness. This leads to the deepest life satisfaction. The author was losing CGHT of his purpose in his first year of studying to become a doctor, focusing more on extrinsic benefits like money and leisure time. He got seriously injured in a biking accident and used his recovery time to reflect on his purpose. Lying in bed, he realized his purpose was about helping others get healthy, not just making his own life easier. He started volunteering with a local doctor he admired and mentoring high school students, which reignited his sense of purpose. His vision and mission expanded beyond just being a doctor. He wanted to open his own clinic and do more to educate people and improve health accessibility. The experience taught him that purpose is not something fixed, but needs constant focus, nourishment, and allowance to evolve over time. Individual purpose leads in unexpected directions. The key message is that keeping one's sense of purpose front and center, even amid responsibilities, is important for living a more meaningful life. The author recommends finding ways to nurture purpose regularly. Here are the summaries. Onship, no notes provided. Faith, no notes provided. Finances, no notes provided. Health, no notes provided. Now that you have your purpose written down, focusing on it can help motivate you to take action each day and reach your goals. Remembering your purpose can give you meaning and drive when you feel unmotivated or stalled in your progress. Your life has value and you have the power to make a difference through pursuing your purpose. The passage encourages reflecting on how determining a clear purpose can empower you to live intentionally and make an impact, rather than just existing without direction or contribution. Facing challenges with purpose, like the author's mother did with her cancer battle, can help you leverage difficulties into opportunities for growth and legacy. Don't waste your time, your life has significance, so pursue what really matters to you and unleash your potential to help others. Playing the victim role allows one to avoid responsibility for how they feel or their life situation, blaming everyone else instead. It provides attention, sympathy and pity from others that the victim enjoys. This often leads to the victim getting what they want from others. It gives the victim a sense of entitlement to complain and have their needs and wants met by others. Relationships become focused on the victim and catering to their emotions, pain, desires, etc. It involves drama that leads nowhere and strains relationships as others must constantly attend to the victim's needs. Living as a victim keeps one unsatisfied and miserable as they were meant for more than wallowing in that role. True victims, like survivors of atrocities, often overcome adversity to help others. The victim has a choice to take ownership and transform into a hero who helps others, or stay on a darker path that hurts themselves and relationships. Making a conscious choice is important. The hero's journey follows a common template of stages: ordinary world, call to adventure, refusal of the call, meeting the mentor, crossing the threshold, trials, approach the innermost cave, ordeal, reward, the road back, resurrection, and return with the elixir. Some key characteristics of heroes include being willing to transform, accepting responsibility, and sacrificing for others. Heroes go through trials that help them grow in character. To become a hero, one must discover their quest or cause to dedicate themselves to, ideally something that helps others. They then need to take ownership and action by setting goals and tracking progress towards completing their quest. Quests can evolve over time as people change and grow. It's okay to have multiple concurrent quests focused on different areas of life, like family, work, community, etc. Taking responsibility and ownership gives one power over their life and situation. Leaders are ultimately responsible for everything, so one must own responsibility for their own life and circumstances. The passage discusses the importance of effective leadership and personal responsibility. It argues that rather than making excuses or blaming others, leaders should take ownership of problems and work to fix them. Taking responsibility means letting go of a victim mentality, complaining, and excuses. While this will not be easy, it allows one to lead a more meaningful life with increased confidence and intentionally. The passage then talks about how heroes and guides can help share their wisdom with others after overcoming challenges themselves. Examples are given of people who faced adversity, like a mother who beat cancer and then helped others doing the same. True leadership is defined as recruiting others for important causes, seeing and calling out potential in people, modeling good behavior, and inspiring sacrifice and personal growth. The goal is to assist others on their hero's journey by providing empathy, compassion, and helping them achieve their quests. Overall, it promotes choosing an empowering narrative of being a hero rather than a victim. By taking ownership, facing fears, and making sacrifices, one can transform their story and help transform the stories of others through mentorship and guidance. A team of supporters is also advocated for to achieve meaningful goals. The original 6 Avengers consisted of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. The 6 friends and friends were Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Joey, Chandler, and Ross. A Navy SEAL fire team consists of 4 people: a team leader, an assistant team leader, a breacher, and a rifleman. Your core group of 5 people who know you best and love you can have a big impact on your life. They can encourage you to work out, be a sounding board, help with problems, do the right thing even when no one is looking. The community you choose can push you forward or hold you back in life. Without the right community to help you learn, change and grow, it will be hard to become your best self. Imagining being surrounded by people who are purpose-driven and who push you to be your best could greatly improve your life and what you can contribute to the community. The author describes creating and participating in a community of greatness, a group of 6 to 8 men who came together with the shared purpose of growing as leaders, having a positive impact, and improving their marriages, families, spirituality, and businesses. Some members were already friends, others were recruited. They held each other accountable by attending monthly meetings, retreats, reading assignments, and pledging confidentiality and commitment through a signed document. The group took their commitment seriously, as illustrated by the author prioritizing a group retreat over a meeting with Target. Being part of this community has helped the author become a better husband, father, and leader. He views starting the group as one of the most fulfilling decisions of his life. The author provides tips for others looking to start their own community of greatness, such as defining a purpose and values, selecting 6 to 8 like-minded individuals, establishing regular meeting formats, and knowing when changes are needed to the group membership. The goal is to form an intentional community that promotes growth for all involved. Having a community of greatness does not mean you can't have other friends outside of that community. A community of greatness is an intentional group created for a specific reason, like personal and professional growth. Mentorship is a crucial aspect of a community of greatness. Mentors help facilitate growth and reaching one's full potential by providing guidance and asking how the group can improve. Studies show having a mentor provides significant benefits like improved decision-making and higher rates of promotion. Being mentored can help build a strong identity for those who lack parental guidance. It's important to both receive mentorship by identifying role models to learn from, and to offer mentorship to others as a way to retain knowledge and multiply one's positive impact. Investing in the growth of a mentee produces benefits for both individuals. Building a community of support and mentor relationships is key to fulfilling one's potential. No one should think they are better off alone or that only online relationships are sufficient. Identity is shaped by how one connects themselves to things like family, faith, community, etc., and determines one's purpose, values, and roles. A modern identity is self-focused and based on current social trends/validation rather than deeper connections. It leads to instability and a lack of real meaning. Modern identity rises from movements like irreligion, rationalism, romanticism, and relativism that have challenged absolute truths and prioritized individualism over deeper connections. Adopting a modern identity can result in constantly seeking approval, feeling entitled, and inability to accept failure without shaming others. In contrast, a divine identity is grounded in understanding who God is, which informs one's beliefs and character. This provides a more secure and purposeful foundation for identity. Determining the roots of one's identity is important for stability and avoiding having one's sense of self shaped only by superficial social influences and pressures. The key point is that establishing a stable identity requires exploring deeper connections like faith rather than basing it only on fleeting social trends, which leads to problems like always seeking validation and an inability to accept failure. A divine identity is presented as a more secure alternative foundation. Here is a summary of the key points about a divine identity. A divine identity believes that humans are more than just physical beings, we have a spiritual dimension as well. This gives us intrinsic worth and value. It is grounded in a belief in a higher power/God and an afterlife. Faith shapes one's identity, values, and purpose. Studies show those with a faith-based identity contribute more to society through charity, volunteering, and virtuous character. Purpose and meaning in life come from understanding God's role and building one's beliefs around that knowledge, not from external definitions of success. It provides certainty and anchors one's identity in something transcendent, rather than conforming to social or peer pressures. Historical figures who achieved great good often shared having an identity rooted in a relationship with God/higher power. So in short, a divine identity believes the spiritual nature of humans links them to a transcendent purpose defined by faith, not just material or social factors, giving stability and direction to one's sense of self. The passage discusses 3 types of identities: modern, traditional, and divine. A modern identity is centered around desires, feelings, and personal happiness and success. Truth is based on current opinion. Purpose is fulfillment in the present. A traditional identity is centered around duty, tradition, and fitting into the community. Truth is based on history in the past. Purpose is to be a good family member. A divine identity has God and the Golden Rule as the moral compass. Truth comes from Scripture. Purpose is to love God and people, redeem the planet, and have an eternal impact. Key figures like MLK Jr. had a divine identity connected to their faith, which gave them strong purpose and meaning in fighting for justice and social change. Building a divine identity through faith, character, community, fulfilling meaningful roles, and focusing on eternal significance can help create a rock-solid sense of self that is impactful. The goal of a divine identity is to positively influence others through virtuous actions, not dominance or rules. When choosing your identity, consider building it on solid foundations rather than fleeting emotions or the past. This allows living the most meaningful life. The author visited Italy and was inspired by Michelangelo's dedication to artistic excellence even when unseen, showing a divine identity drives perfection. Virtues like wisdom, courage and love form our strongest character and allow creating lifelong masterpieces. The 7 divine virtues especially guide living excellence. Virtues complement each other, love and truth work best together. Developing virtue creates the most inspiring and impactful life. Having a clear target like the Golden Rule allows aiming for moral excellence, like an archer hitting the bullseye. Love is the greatest virtue and meta-virtue we can aim for. The passage discusses the concept of agape love, which is considered the highest form of love. Agape refers to selfless, sacrificial love, willing the good of another without expecting anything in return. It is not just an emotion but a choice to act for the benefit of others. The passage provides examples of what agape love looks like in action, such as volunteering time to care for friends' children or bringing food to a sick friend. It also discusses how characters like Sam in Lord of the Rings exemplify agape by carrying Frodo up the mountain despite being exhausted. Thomas Aquinas described agape as willing the good of another. The passage contends that having faith, hope and love are necessary to develop virtuous character beyond just following rules or logic. It provides the example of Corrie ten Boom risking her life to save Jews during the Holocaust out of her faith. In summary, the passage defines agape love as selfless, sacrificial action for others' benefit without expecting anything in return. It discusses how agape and virtues like faith are the highest forms of love and character according to philosophers like Aquinas. Examples are given of what agape looks like in practice. Virtues are fundamentally good moral qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, compassion. Values are more subjective moral beliefs and goals that aren't necessarily virtue-based. Values alone are incomplete, they need to be grounded in virtues to have a positive impact. Too much emphasis on individualistic values without virtues can lead to issues. The 7 deadly sins or vices are pride, envy, wrath, greed, lust, gluttony and sloth. They are character weaknesses that oppose virtue development. To become virtuous requires regularly practicing virtues through our choices and actions over time, not just signaling or occasionally doing virtuous things. Trading virtue signaling for virtue solutions means focusing less on appearing virtuous online and more on meaningful, practical actions to solve problems through virtues like justice and compassion. The main message is that virtues are important qualities of good character, values need virtues to guide them, and we develop virtue through consistent practice and choices rather than just appearance or occasional virtue-based actions. Focusing on our character strengths and weaknesses can have a positive impact. Dee came up with a plan to provide scholarships to children in the local Black community to help improve access to education. Even small positive actions are better than just talking without doing anything. It's important to come up with concrete solutions and ideas to help others. The easiest way to help is simply asking organizations what their biggest needs are and looking for ways to meet those needs through our own time, talents and resources. We should focus on helping our neighbors, co-workers, local charities and community members who are in need. Inspiring figures like Mr. Beast, YouTuber Jimmy Donaldson, don't just talk about issues but put significant resources into charitable causes through donations and fundraising. We should follow their example of taking meaningful actions instead of just talking. Developing virtues like encouragement, wisdom, justice and self-control into habits can have a big positive impact on ourselves and others over time. Small consistent efforts to improve are important. The speaker discusses how to determine what is true when there is conflicting information. They disagree with the approach of solely following the latest scientific research, as it can be biased and outdated. Instead, they argue we should look to principles, foundational laws or truths, that have been consistent throughout history. Spiritual texts like the Bible and Taoism offer timeless principles for living well. To think principled, they recommend using tools like the 5 whys technique, asking why repeatedly to get to the root cause, first principles thinking, breaking problems down to basic assumptions, and iceberg thinking, examining underlying patterns and trends. These approaches help uncover deeper truths and lead to wiser decisions, rather than just following opinions or the latest research. Principled thinking was used historically by philosophers like Socrates and can help navigate today's many conflicting perspectives. Overall, the speaker believes principles offer a surer guide for determining what is true than constantly changing information alone. Elon Musk wanted to land a rocket on Mars, but rockets were usually $65 million, which was too expensive. Using first principles thinking, Musk analyzed rockets by breaking them down into components and materials. He looked at commodity prices to compare costs. This allowed him to determine he could build his own rocket for 10% of the typical quoted price. SpaceX was then created. First principles involves having basic understanding, removing assumptions, getting to the basic principle/truth, being detailed in thinking, and keeping the bigger picture in mind. Musk applied this by understanding rockets at a basic level, removing assumptions about costs, analyzing components/materials to get to the core truth of costs, and founding SpaceX to achieve his goal of landing rockets on Mars. First principles thinking can be applied to analyze any problem by breaking it down to fundamental truths and building back up with innovative solutions. This is what allowed Musk to achieve his goal more affordably. The author initially invested all their money into their own business, which failed, teaching them a valuable lesson about properly researching investment options and diversifying. They then spoke to mentors like Jordan Rubin and Dave Ramsey, who recommended getting out of debt, charitable giving, investing in personal/business development, and investing 10% of income in real estate/stocks after paying off debts. The author studied the principles of successful investors like Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio to learn fundamentals like buying low and selling high. Over time, the author collected 10 principles that have added value to their life: recognize wisdom through results, model the wise, reap what you sow, words are powerful, serve others, find the truth, iron sharpens iron, habits build virtue, be the change, and love wins. These principles emphasize learning from successful people, investing one's resources prudently, using words carefully, prioritizing service to others, seeking objective truth, surrounding oneself with excellence, developing good habits, leading through positive action, and responding to challenging situations with love. Here is a summary of the provided text. Agape love is not romantic love, but rather a sacrificial love where one fights for and wills the good of another through sacrifice, effort, time and resources without expectation of reciprocity. It is exemplified by parenting sacrifices for a child's education or forgiving someone who wronged you. The author then lists principles they aim to follow in areas of health, career and marriage/family. Health principles focus on food, movement and mindset as medicine. Career principles emphasize excellence, virtuous leadership and value creation. Marriage/family principles include prioritizing family through time and communication, honoring one another, serving each other and living by shared values and purpose. The two key principles that have helped the author's marriage flourish are honoring each other through respectful tone, especially during conflict, and out-serving each other by focusing on ways to give support rather than keeping score of contributions. The author encourages choosing principles over opinions to guide life and actions, as principles lead to higher levels of being and transformation when integrated into daily living. The passage discusses how a fear-based mindset can develop from being praised for innate abilities as a child, rather than effort. This leads adults to tie their identity and self-worth to outcomes, paralyzing their potential. Living with constant fear activates the body's fight or flight response, releasing stress hormones. While stress in moderation can strengthen character, chronic fear is unhealthy and limits creativity, problem-solving, and leadership. It also contributes to 75 to 90% of doctor visits. The alternative is adopting a flourishing mindset focused on growth, not perfection. Key aspects include seeing failure as a guide rather than something to avoid, embracing challenges, and prioritizing learning over looking smart. Successful people like Sarah Blakely demonstrate how embracing failure can lead to massive success through the process of failing forward. Overall, the passage promotes shifting from a fear-based viewpoint that limits potential to a flourishing mindset focused on lifelong learning and improvement through challenges rather than fear of mistakes or competition. This allows one to better solve problems and add value to others. Here is a summary of the provided text from a third-person perspective. John felt taking the risk of failure was less painful than living with the regret of not trying to reach a worthwhile goal. He understood that failing does not necessarily mean he is a failure, and that failure is essential to becoming successful. When reflecting on mistakes, John tried asking himself, what did John do wrong, and what can he do better next time? Rather than dwelling on self-blame. This external perspective, similar to the Batman effect discussed in Mindshift, helped John navigate tough emotions and course-correct from a different lens. John recognized that failure is an important part of the learning process, and that success comes from learning from mistakes. This passage outlines a 5-step process for overcoming busyness and setting yourself up to achieve big goals. The steps are: 1. Prioritize, reevaluate your priorities and make sure family, health, spirituality, etc. are at the top. Determine where you want to focus your time and energy. 2. Visualize, clearly envision your desired future outcomes. Picture what success looks like. 3. Strategize, develop a plan of action steps to make your vision a reality. Strategize how you will accomplish your goals. 4. Systematize, put systems in place to support your plan and reduce distractions. Streamline your schedule. 5. Realize, execute your plan and work towards achieving your goals and vision. Celebrate your progress along the way. The key message is that by setting clear priorities, envisioning your dreams, planning strategically, and taking action, you can overcome busyness and make significant progress towards accomplishing big goals over the next 6 months and beyond. It's about being intentional with your time rather than being swept up in constant urgency and activity. Prioritizing what matters most in life sacrificing things that matter least, like distractions, social media usage, and mundane tasks. This allows focusing time and energy on more meaningful goals. Visualization is an effective tool used by top athletes to mentally rehearse skills and performance. Visualizing goals positively impacts outcomes by connecting emotionally to desired futures. Studies show mental visualization alone can improve skills as much as physical practice. To visualize properly, clearly picture goals across key life areas like faith, fitness, family, etc., using all senses to feel emotionally invested. Visualize both the process and outcome. Write goals down to solidify intention. Vision boards are a key part of goal setting. They visually represent desired futures across different life domains to improve memory recall and commitment. Specific boards that incorporate feelings and senses are most impactful. Displaying boards increases goal success by keeping intentions top of mind. Creating a vision board can help you visualize your goals and dreams. Make your vision board personal by including specific pictures that represent what you want to achieve. Place your vision board in a visible location where you will see it daily. Seeing your goals regularly will help align your daily actions and decisions to support achieving those goals. Your vision board needs to be motivating. Choose pictures that inspire you and keep you motivated on your path. Update your vision board over time as your goals and interests may change. Reflecting on and updating your vision board keeps it relevant. Strategizing takes your vision out of the abstract by planning actionable steps to achieve your goals. Developing a strategic mindset where you ask questions to do tasks better helps you be more creative and successful. Start with clear goals and work backwards to map out the steps to achieve them. Continually reevaluate and refine your strategy. Create systems by developing consistent habits and rituals that propel your strategies forward. Successful people have achieved results through disciplined daily routines that nurture important areas of life like faith, family, fitness, and work. Tools like time-boxing tasks, planning for self-growth, and evaluating what to stop, start, and continue doing can help systematize your strategies into realized goals. Consistency in positive habits over time leads to significant growth and achievement. The passage discusses overcoming obstacles and negative mindsets with positive perseverance. It shares the author's personal experience of facing a severe spinal injury and infection that left him in intense pain and unable to walk for over a year. During this difficult time, he chose to maintain hope and focus on quality time with his family, rather than despair. Through daily therapies, supplements, and a strict diet, he slowly recovered, though it was an arduous process. He emphasizes that we all face suffering at times, but with positive perseverance like heroes of the past, we can stand victorious. The key is focusing on positivity rather than complaints or bitterness, which will only create a negative life. It's natural to feel negative emotions, but they can become toxic if lingered on. We're wired to attend more to negative information due to our negativity bias. The passage advises confronting negativity and choosing to be positive, rather than feeling at the mercy of outside events, as a way to overcome obstacles and make one's life a masterpiece. Maintaining hope and persevering positively through challenges is seen as essential to realizing one's goals and ambitions. People are more likely to share bad news with friends than positive stories or events due to a psychological phenomenon called negativity bias. This bias kept our ancestors alert to threats but now causes stress and unhealthy habits. Toxic positivity is an extreme where people deny or dismiss real negative emotions. Optimism bias is a healthier view where one has a positive expectation for the future while still facing reality. Positive perseverance, consisting of hope, grit, and gratitude, is a powerful combination. Hope involves goal setting and believing in change. Grit is passion and perseverance for long-term goals through challenges. Gratitude improves health and strengthens relationships. Studies show optimism, grit, and gratitude are linked to better mental and physical health outcomes. Practicing positive perseverance builds resilience to thrive through difficulties. The story of Deion Sanders exemplifies overcoming adversity through perseverance. Former NFL star and football coach Deion Sanders suffered multiple blood clots in his leg that nearly led to amputation below the knee. Doctors were able to save his leg but had to amputate 2 toes. Sanders admitted it was a difficult recovery, but he never gave up hope or questioned God. He maintained a positive and grateful attitude, saying God is so good and that his life remains good and purposeful. After his playing career, Sanders moved into coaching to help develop young men's character as well as their football skills. He instills virtues like respect, responsibility, integrity, and hard work. Sanders' story demonstrates facing challenges with grit, hope, and gratitude. Even through difficult times, one can refine their character and have a positive impact on others. Everything we consume, whether media, social media, conversations, etc., has an influence on who we become. Our input shapes our output. Parents are wise to monitor what children are exposed to. Positive input like uplifting media/influencers helps us develop virtues while negative input can corrupt. We must be selective about what we allow to influence our thoughts and behaviors. Even in extreme suffering, like in concentration camps, one can find hope by choosing to focus on glimpses of beauty or meaning. A woman focused on a small tree to find optimism. We can choose to believe the best or worst about ourselves and the world each day. Limiting beliefs hold us back from change, but elevating our thinking transforms obstacles into opportunities. The author's grandfather transformed later in life by following his passion to create a fun park despite doubters. It fulfilled his purpose and had a lasting positive impact on many lives. We all have potential to unlock greater possibilities by overcoming limiting beliefs and doubts. We should pursue our purpose and make choices aligned with becoming our best selves to positively influence others. Developing self-awareness is crucial for personal and professional growth. Understanding your strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, behaviors, emotional triggers, and biases allows you to better communicate, lead others, and achieve your goals. Cultivate self-awareness through self-reflection, getting feedback from others you trust, identifying patterns in how you interact with different people/situations, and knowing how others perceive you. Regular self-assessment helps gain insight. Common areas people lack self-awareness include poor emotional intelligence, not understanding their impact on others, being overly critical/defensive, having an inflated ego, and failing to recognize unconscious biases. Increased self-awareness leads to enhanced relationships, stress management, decision-making, adaptability, and performance. It disrupts one's mental narratives and limiting beliefs to flourish. Focus on continual self-improvement versus just accomplishments. Develop positive qualities of character that strengthen health, relationships, and well-being for a fulfilled life. In summary, developing self-awareness through reflection and feedback is key to gaining insight, managing weaknesses, maximizing strengths, and pursuing meaningful goals and relationships that enrich one's life. Here is a summary of the key points from the provided article. The article discusses the importance of self-awareness and why it matters. It explores how self-awareness can improve relationships, leadership abilities, and performance at work. Researchers have found that higher self-awareness is associated with better emotional and social functioning. More self-aware individuals tend to be better listeners, more empathetic, and able to regulate their emotions. Several studies cited found that training programs to increase self-awareness led to improvements in aspects like communication, stress management, work engagement, and leadership skills. Having self-awareness means accurately perceiving your own emotions, strengths/weaknesses, thoughts, and behaviors. It allows you to recognize how you come across and to monitor and adjust your interactions. While self-awareness takes effort to develop, it is an important skill to focus on building. Being more self-aware can enhance personal and professional performance and relationships. Regular self-reflection and getting candid feedback from others can help increase self-awareness over time. The article discusses research demonstrating the value of self-awareness and how increasing this skill can lead to benefits in various domains like leadership, social functioning, performance, and well-being. It emphasizes developing self-awareness through reflection and seeking input from others. Here are summaries of the articles. 1. Psychological Science, April 9, 2013. The article discusses a study that found people who are low in self-control benefited from having strong-willed friends, as such friends helped encourage discipline and goal achievement. Their willpower seemed to rub off on those with less. 2. Dunbar's number explains research suggesting humans can only maintain stable social relationships with 150 people due to limits in the size of the human brain's neocortex. Beyond that cognitive limit, additional connections must be weaker. 3. Sebastian Aucklenberg summarizes findings from a global online survey on loneliness conducted by the UK's Coalition to End Loneliness. Results showed loneliness negatively impacts both physical and mental health, with up to a 50% increased mortality risk for lonely people. Loneliness is a major public health issue worldwide. 4. Dhruv Kular discusses how loneliness and social isolation are epidemic issues and have significant health risks comparable to smoking and obesity. Social connections are essential for both physical and emotional well-being. 5. Matthew Pittman and Brandon Reich study examined associations between social media use and loneliness. Found that for lonely individuals, quality social interactions were more important for well-being than superficial contacts on social media. 6. Vivek Murthy article discusses how loneliness negatively impacts both mental and physical health. Workplaces often exacerbate isolation, so addressing loneliness requires a community-level effort. Healthy work environments protect against disconnection. 7. Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. The Bible verse suggests people improve through mutual support and accountability found in close relationships. Here is a summary of the key points from Tun's article. Connect with empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It involves seeing the world through their perspective and emotions. Developing empathy requires slowing down, listening without judgment, and reflecting on how others might feel in their situation. It helps to imagine walking a mile in their shoes. When we connect with empathy, we form deeper and more meaningful relationships. People feel heard, understood, and cared for. This builds trust and goodwill. Organizations and teams that cultivate empathy perform better. Members feel psychologically safe voicing different views. They can resolve conflicts and make decisions everyone buys into. In an increasingly divided world, empathy is vital. By seeking to understand others rather than attack perceived opponents, we can have respectful discussions across differences and find common ground. Practicing empathy takes conscious effort but pays off immensely. Small acts like making eye contact, remembering names, and asking follow-up questions can go a long way in any interaction. So in summary, the article discusses how developing empathy through understanding other perspectives builds stronger relationships, teams, and society as a whole in a divided world.